We live. We live. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Wait for a few more people to get up in here, man. Wait for some more people to get in there. We got a very serious topic. Hold on. I'm waiting for y'all to get in there. Wait for y'all to get in here. Hold on. Wait for y'all to get in here. Where we at, people? Where we at? Where we at? The boy Big Boosie, man. Y'all know what it is. New to the channel. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification button on the comment. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. YouTube be playing with the numbers. Come on, YouTube. Once again, y'all know I'm out here doing what I'm supposed to do the correct way. Making positive content, correct content. Come on, let my numbers roll. Come on, come on. A lot of content that I'm putting out is mine. It belongs to me. But I want to get into something real serious. This is a big, it's a big thing. Where's our politicians at? When the police do something to one of our family members, where is the governors that we suppose that want us to vote them in? Vito still. Yeah, Vito said as soon as you played the audio about the man was allegedly arrested for what the man was arrested for, they blacked it out. Facts. I never seen that before neither, but they can't stop us, man. Yeah, they could chime in on keywords. That's a fact. That's a fact. This is crazy, man. But I gotta show this again. And make sure y'all go to Dr. Richie. Facts. Vito still said we gotta keep spreading the truth. That's a fact, because we all we got out here, man. Like, if people don't understand how these police are playing out there, and we don't understand the fact of how to beat them, we're gonna lose. And the only way to beat them is you don't fight back with the police. I don't care if you don't have nothing on you. You know that you ain't did nothing wrong. All of the above. There's no reason. Just put your hands behind your back. And y'all getting ready to see why. I'm getting ready to show this again. Because it's like they straight up just knocked me out as soon as I showed y'all that. But I got to show this one more time because I need y'all judgment on this. What up, why not? Mark J, that's right. He says the devils is alive. Laws are made for the law, not for the working people. Facts. But I got to show this, man. Y'all check it out. Finesse Analyzer said free rights usage. They can't play them games. Facts. But y'all check it out. This is Dr. Richie, Indisputable channel. Make sure y'all go over there. This is his content. It's not my content, but I want to do some reactions to it because he's a guy that helps people that goes through things with police. He airs it and it gets big responses and get how I want to word it, get big answers to the problem or the situation. And I like his, what he do. I like that he speaks about police corruption, and he also speaks about good police, because all police is not bad police, and he's not biased, so it goes both ways. So his show goes both ways. It's just sad that he has more of negative police stuff to talk about, and that shows you how much corruption is going on out here in the world with these police, and they are supposed to protect us, but they pick us out as pawns and choose to do their dirty work when they got to make a quota, or just do, they know they can get away with it. They are the biggest gang on the planet. They'll take their officers and hide them inside of that office, send them home to their families while the other people is at home crying over their loved one that got killed, man. Finesse said when the audio blacked out, I knew what was up. In facts. This is crazy. But we going at it again, fellas. Check it out. Make sure y'all go. Dr. Richie, Undisputable. And the people he bring up there speak so articulate, very well spoken, and be having great points, man. It's just sent chills when you know this is what's going on outside of your door when you walk out that door, man. And it's dangerous for our kids to even go outside. The police don't care. I've watched them handcuff 7-year-old babies, man. That's wild. My little mama's 7, 8. Man, listen. Mark J said, a lot of times I'm scared to drive or even come out because you might not make it back inside. Facts. Back inside your house. How we the people paying the police salaries from our tax earned dollars, but kill us. We paying them to be able to have the right and a license to kill us. That's crazy. That's deep. I got to play this.
A Texas cop who killed a man, unarmed man, says, I just smoked a dude. Here it is. How you doing, sir? Good. I'm Sergeant Iverson of the Rusk County Sheriff's Office. Yes, sir. The reason I pulled you over is you blew that stop sign back there. No, I didn't. I came to a complete stop with that stop sign. All right. Can you show me that I blew? Step out of this. Okay. I'm just wondering.
And he gets out. Y'all tell me what he did wrong.
Real quick, you got anything on you? You should keep your hands out of your pocket. I wasn't. I don't have anything on me, officer. Put your hand behind your back. Officer, I don't have anything on me. Behind your back. Officer, why are you... What? Can you just tell me... Officer, please, can you tell me what I'm under arrest for? Please. Oh, please. Get out. 517 County.
We just shot him.
Okay.
And he took off running.
Call everybody. I've got a shooting. Tell a colleague I just smoked a dude. Put him on full mask. The man was pulled over for allegedly violating a very simple traffic rule. Timothy Michael Randall was on the phone with his mother when a police car pulled up behind him. What began as a routine traffic stop became what you just saw. The officer, his name is Sergeant Shane Iverson of Rusk County. In the moments after the body cam we just watched, more things happened. Randall continued to run down the street but collapsed face down. Iverson radioed for help and then tried to render medical aid, but Randall died on the pavement. The bullet had torn through his ribs, lungs, and heart. That's according to the autopsy records.
That's deep. That's very deep. That's very sad. And what's crazy is he was the baby of his mother's other sibling, his mother's other children. And y'all already know the babies of the family is always the ones closest to the mother. And even if it was the middle or the oldest, she would still feel the same. But y'all understand, the babies, we always gonna be the babies to our parents, regardless. I don't care how old you get, it doesn't even matter. And this man gets to go home, and the police was hiding it, wouldn't put out no footage of it or nothing. They tried to hold it as long as they could. And the mother's fighting for justice, just now being able to get a lawsuit after 2 years. And y'all know how long this type of stuff takes to get the body cam footage from these police, you know, the higher ups that's inside that calls the shots, man. That's crazy. Finesse Analyze said the mother didn't deserve to witness that on the phone. Exactly. He was on the phone talking to his mother, man. Do you know how messed up she's going to be for the rest of her life, man? God forbid she even dies from a broken heart. Let's keep it real. A lot of mothers pass. Look at Biggie moms, man. We all think she passed from a broken heart. Finesse said, I hope they don't hire Benjamin Crump. He never won one of these cases. Wow, I never knew that. All these cases he on, I'm thinking he winning cases. We need that Cochran class of black attorneys. Facts. But we got to look at this. That was a white man. So we can't even say that it was a black man that got killed. That shows you that nobody's safe out here. Unfortunately, it happens to the majority of us. It probably would have happened quick if it was a black man. If y'all notice that cop's demeanor, his demeanor was off the gate, he was looking for smoke. If you getting pulled over for a traffic ticket, I pulled you. Why you pulled me over? I pulled you over because you blew through that stop sign. He said, no, I didn't. He said, get out the car. Why you got to get out the car? For a traffic ticket. And then when he gets out the car, this is the points that I be making. Never argue with the police. When he started saying, put your hand behind your back, he started yoking, putting the guy in a hole where he can slam him off impulse. It wasn't no hesitation of what he wanted to do. It's obvious what he wanted to do. When he slams him to the ground, he gets up and gets his gun and start pow, pow, pow. No hesitation. That man had no wins for his life. That officer had no regards for this man's life. This is a crazy situation. Now, what our politicians, our governors doing to protect us? And we are considered their citizens in their state. And they sitting up in them nice, good mansions and want us to vote them in, but they don't correct their police about these situations. And when something is done right, they release body cam footage ASAP. Vito said that was in Rusk County, right? Them officers have tobacco chew and ready to go off. Right, facts. Boosie, Vito still said, Boosie, I know you what it's like being pulled over in a dark sundown town in the rural South at night. I don't know what it's like personally because I don't play in them sides of town. When I see the day white, if I pull over the gas station, I can tell it's real white. I'm hurrying up in the daytime and I'm getting out of that town. I'm not stopping nowhere. If I pull somewhere and I don't know where I'm at and I see inside of this store, I look around the surveillance it and I see just a bunch of white people in there. They might not be paying me no attention. I'm out. So, yeah, I don't want to experience being pulled over at nighttime by one of them. Because that's when you better get your greatest acting skills on. Yes, sir. No, sir. Keep your hands. They shouldn't have to even tell you, keep your hands out your pocket. I'm not having my hands in my pocket. My hands going to go out the window immediately. Facts. Mark J said, this is sickness and a sad situation. Very sad, man. No money can ever bring back a loved one. Well, me personally, I have cameras in my vehicle for situations. Like everybody need cameras now and they sit in their vehicles. And if not, get your phone rolling ASAP. I don't know if that helps, but it can be a start. Yeah, it's a start. It's a start to make the police go, oh, It's cameras around. Sometimes they be so thirsty they don't even see the cameras, and they don't even care. They got body cams on and still don't care because they have control over them body cams. They can get edited, all of the above, man. Vito still said this is why the Wild Cowboys were so feared in New York back in the 90s. This is what they was doing to Harlem. Yeah, that's a fact. I want to say them Wild Cowboys, yeah, they used to put the sirens on and act like they was cops when they pull you. I remember brothers having shootouts with legit police thinking they was the Wild Cowboys. Andre and them, yep. And I want to say they snatched Gangsta Lou one time, the Wild Cowboys. I think Lou told me a story. Don't quote me on it, but I think so. Lou even had an experience with them Wild Cowboy dudes. And I think they recognized who he was and kind of left it be, but that's a fact. You know your history, Vito Stills. And those wasn't police, but they was doing crazy police stuff. Mark J say mine is linked to my email just in case they find the camera and want to delete the video and audio. Facts. That's why the majority of the time you go live. You go live because it automatically goes straight to being posted. And it's crazy, but this is what we live in now. This is our society. It's slavery all over again. My question, right? We know for a fact a lot of people that believe in Ku Klux Klan movement, people that are Ku Klux Klan, go and get these jobs for the freedom to do corrupt stuff to black people. And or if they in the mood that they'll do it to a white person as well. So my thing is, should we join the police force and join it for the right reason? And what will happen if you did join it for the right reason, as soon as you try to check a cop and put him in their place, a lady cop just did it and they fired her. Detroit versus everybody said, Boosie, you ever had one of these crazy officers pull you over and call you a boy? Nah, that never happened to me. But when I caught my first case and I was facing that 60 years, they tried to play us and play the separation. It was three of us. My boy was driving. They take him out, put him in the back. They already knew what they was doing. It was a lady in front of us. She pulled over as well. As soon as they get out the car, they walk to her and tell her to go ahead. An older white lady. They tell my boy he was speeding and tailgating. If he was speeding, how could he be tailgating the lady in front of him? She wasn't even driving fast. And if that was the case, she should have got a ticket too. They already knew what they was doing. These are the things that they do because they have the power to do so. One of those cops' name is Plunkett. I'm doing a movie about it. It's called Route 13. I spoke about it before. One of the cops pulled over a guy that was on those two cops that actually pulled me and my friends pulled over a guy that was on the run, and they tried that with him. He ended up pow one of them, and one of them lost their life. And, I don't wish that on nobody. I ain't even going to say good for him, but he only got what he was asking for. Doing that stuff, that's not what y'all was hired to do. Come up with y'all type of situations to actually pull people and want to lock them up and try to get an arrest. Just because y'all breaking and bending the rules of being a police officer, y'all are supposed to protect us out here. You don't make up something to pull people over because you don't have a quota. Y'all are out there to make sure that no laws are being broke. So that's what y'all are doing that is correct. But being that no laws are being broke and they don't see nothing, they make a law. Or should I say, they pull you over to make up something as if you broke the law to give them something to do. But the name of the police game is to protect and make sure that no laws are broken. And if not, then they sit down and get paid for just sitting in their car and wait to see if something happened. But no, they can't do that. They want to make something happen and interrupt somebody's life. This is one of the most craziest things that I've seen on these YouTube channels with platforms such as Dr. Richie's Indisputable. And he has a lot of other things, and I'm going to start bringing these things to y'all awareness because it's very important. Roe Williams was good. It's very important that we teach this and make sure everybody share this, share this, share this, because kids need to see this, and we need to teach our kids this method. The only way to beat them is to use your brain. And the only way that your brain can show you how to beat them is to tell you when they say put your hand behind your back, even though you ain't do nothing, and you like, why are you touching them? They ain't do nothing, and want to argue and fight. No, because they have license to kill. So if your hands are behind your back and something happened to you while you was doing correct, you leave, and something do happen, God forbid, you leave your family with enough power to fight for you because you did everything right. You didn't touch him. You didn't try to. Nothing. Even when you put your hand behind your back and they do cuff you or put you in the car, if they mad at you, they'll say you was resisting. That's their favorite word to use. Vito still say, I know you dealt with them officers that pull you over and look at you like, yeah, facts, like you scum. That's probably why Randall was on the phone with his mother. Right. Mark J said, this is a very broad topic and will be talked about. We're living in an unjust system that's made for them, not us as people. Yeah, it's made for them. They don't have nothing to fear. They shoot and unalive somebody, they go home with pay and sometimes without pay, depending on how easy it gets out there. But they go home to their family. They get to kiss their kids when they get off the bus to come from school. They tuck them in at night after they know that a man or a woman, they unalived them. Probably be all over the news. They probably turn the news, or some of them just sit there and look at it and probably laugh and smile. Y'all heard the officer say he whispered. Y'all heard Dr. Richie say he whispered to somebody after he called it in for his boys to come in and help. He called somebody, I guess what his friends said, man, I just killed the dude. What kind of mess is that, man? This is crazy, man. It's very dangerous out here. It's very dangerous out here, man. And I'm saying dangerous because of the police. It's already real gangsters out here that do stuff and kill people for no reason. Yeah, they deserve to be in jail. Y'all out here doing ignorant stuff like that, bothering people, think you could rob somebody and take their hard-earned stuff, kick people doors in and rob and steal and kill them in their house and or rape them in their house, and then leave. No, those are the type of people that need to be in jail. Those are the type of people police need to be looking for. But no, they bother people that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, going to see their loved ones or on their way home from work, and they make up. And the biggest thing is how they tried to cover it up was they said he had a gun and he had a meth pipe. And they didn't show, you could see his body, but the body ain't really close. Y'all go to Undisputable and check it out. Body ain't even close to the way they tried to set it out there and sit it out. Because first of all, if he was pulled for a traffic tickets only take 15 minutes to write out, sign, and then you're on your way. If he was being rolled up, I don't care what he had in the car. If you didn't see it and it was just for a traffic ticket, why is y'all bringing that up? Because the officer unalived this man. That's not going to make us look at this officer any kind of way. Not only that, this officer needs to be charged. He just really murdered a man. He murdered this guy. My G, Ro Williams said, my G, you know, once Trump got back in office, this was going to start happening. On the real, he shouldn't be president. I beg to differ. Police been killing us way before Trump was even thinking about being president. It just wasn't a lot of cameras around at that time. When he had his reality show, people was getting killed. This has nothing to do with Trump. Nothing to do with who was the president. These people think on their own time and on their own terms. This is just what they want to do. Half the police, if not 90% of them, was punks in school and got beat up all the time or bullied. Now they have the power because they can get on the radio and call a bunch of people to come help them, which we all can't fight them back because now they have the jails for us to fear that we're going to have to go to if we put our hands on them. So they have protection mentally and physically against us. So they do what they want to do. Trump wasn't in office when they pulled me over illegally, pulled out a tool set and searched the car, unscrewing stuff under the hood, unscrewing stuff inside of the car, looking for stuff. Trump wasn't in office then. They did what they wanted to do. Then they was pulling over other people, man. As I'm sitting in that jail with $1 million bail, other people was coming in from New York, and we all way in we was just about to cross over from Maryland to the Virginia line, and it was happening in Maryland, Salisbury, Maryland. I'm going to do a movie about it. It's called Route 13, because we was on Route 13 on our way to VA. And this was what they was doing the same way that they was doing on the New Jersey Turnpike. And they finally made them stop that when a big, I forgot who started crusading against that, but it got out there. So it's like, we can never blame presidents. Now, we can say a lot of people that follows Trump do react to doing things like this. There are people that is out there that is doing things that they think now because Trump is the president, they got all right to poke their chests out and do things to whoever they want to because they feel that Trump has spoke a few things that will allow them to get away with stuff. When they ran up in that big Capitol building, he gave all of them pardons. So that did put batteries in people back. So I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. But I'm just speaking the majority rules of this has been going on regardless who was the president. I'm trying to figure what was done. We can go all the way back to the Bill Clintons, and then we can go up to Bush. Bush was the worst president ever. Everybody was broke. No money. When there's no money around, that creates a lot of ruckus. A lot of people doing a lot of crimes. All along, he was just robbing and stealing and utilizing that presidency stuff. Meaning getting that oil from them, from the Muslim guys on the other side of the country. And created all that 911 running up and planes blowing up into the buildings and all of that. We got to go that far, that deep, for real. Like, for real. Ro Williams, appreciate you, bro. This stuff is out of control, man, and we need to be in fear for our lives when we walk outside. Like Mark J said, man, I feel threatened when I walk outside. I don't got to worry about the gangsters. I got to worry about the police. Anybody get pulled over by the police is nervous just for a traffic stop because you don't know how it might turn out. Mark J said, this topic is just like us when we do it to each other. So wrong is wrong. I would advise people to get right with God because it's coming down to an end. That's a fact. And I did a post and put these Harlem, showed a video of these Harlem guys in training somewhere in a secret field somewhere training. Somebody put under the comment, and what does that supposed to mean? What is it gonna what is that gonna do? That's an ignorant minded person. Because first of all, let me explain something to you. Those trainings are good because they are training them to be prepared. Because if y'all don't think in your mind that there's not a bunch of white people somewhere with those radical groups that's already plotting and planning how they're going to move on us. It just happened in Ohio, and those people out there, those black people stood up and ran them guys up out of there. They was prepared. Women and everything had firearms, big ones, and said, no, you won't come here and do that. So to whoever that guy was that put what was that about, that's what it's about, being prepared already and training people to think militantly and training them to not just utilize your bronze because you have a gun. That's not about that. Knowing how to fight karate, they tell you you don't use this just because you can. You only use it if you have to. That's called being a smart person. I used to hate when we was out in them streets, and you know, we always kept them toaster roasters around if we going out to party. It's sad that we had to, but you had to because you never know. But by law, we in the Constitution, we have the right to bear arms. It's in the Constitution. You just have to do it right, get your paperwork on it, and all of the above. But you know, we might get a guy that hang around us, and you know, you put something in you give them one of them toys and put in their hand. Next thing you know, I wish somebody look at me. Well, no, we didn't give you that for that. That's just in case of somebody bother us. It's not for you to look for no trouble. We ain't out here for trouble. We came out here to have some fun and a good time. And that's just to protect ourselves because we always was in the public eye in these clubs. The fly guys with the toys, the nice jewelry, all the women coming over to us, drinking, buying mad drinks and spreading love to everybody, having fun. There's guys that's inside of that area or wherever you at from afar watching and mad because nobody is over there with them. Now they can do the same thing. Women will come over to our table and hang out, chill with us. If somebody over there doing the same thing we doing, then they'll go over there, hang out, chill with them also. Women always like a free drink. No, and it's not no disrespect to women, but yeah, it's nothing wrong with a man giving a woman a drink because you're just showing your gentleman side of things. And you can do the same thing. Now you might got some guys in there that's doing the same thing, but they might be a little more upset because you get more attention than they getting. And now they want to start trouble. You might got to walk to the bathroom. One of them might bump you or bump your homeboy. Ignorance. And now we were going to war with each other and killing each other. Because nobody's going to let nobody disrespect them. And it's not about ego and arrogance at this point. Maybe the ego and arrogance is the part where the guys that starts the trouble. But the guys that didn't start the trouble now, it's called defense. It's called self-defense. Don't put your hands on me. You could talk from afar. Who cares? Vanessa Analyze said you had to stay strapped. I remember Unique had a lot of bitter dudes mad that he was piping their chicks. It's cause it causes envy and hate. Ro Williams said Executive Club, Bull City. Facts. My boy know what he talking about. Wild nights, man. And yeah, we was there. That's a fact. We was in there. Executive Club. The Executive Club probably one of the longest clubs that, you know, because they had mostly hardworking people in there, but you still had your knuckleheads. You had a few crazy nights, but you had, you know, the other clubs, Power Company. You had, what what was the other spot? Used to be in the Ramada Inn. I bought Cam there one time. Then you had the Palace downtown. Um, a few clubs, man, always get turned out in Durham. Always. Because of just of what I just said. When you are you know, you that flashy uh guy or crew team that's in the public eye, you got jealousy. And it's all because of women. They hate that the women is over there with you or liking you. That's crazy. Finesse said, I know you hated having to deal with Brooklyn in the spot, ice grilling when you was just going out the vibe. Yeah, but one thing about that, we had a lot of Brooklyn that used to be with us, man. My boy Mel, his brother Shorts, and Mel turned out to be a good friend of mine. He's a Brooklyn dude, was nothing to play with. Nothing to play with, but they was always with us. But we used to, when we first started going out, we used to see them on their side doing their thing, and they used to see us on our side. But those was some Brooklyn guys that I could say that had they head right, which was Mel. His brother Shorts always was the ice griller, and he ain't like nobody. Even when they started hanging with us, and we became a family, a Brooklyn and Harlem family down here. He used to be ice grilling other people too, and I used to tell him, little bro, we ain't gotta do all. We good over here, man. But he used to do it to people he think was watching us and was mad at us. I used to tell him, don't worry about what they doing. As long as they doing that over there, we don't care. If they come in this circle right here and come with it, then you know we know what's gonna happen. But this police stuff is out of control. Make sure y'all teach y'all kids. Don't argue with the police because you know that you didn't do wrong. Don't struggle, fight back, nothing. If they tell you put your hand behind your back, tell your kids to put their hands behind their back and let them cuff them. That's using your brain, is how you beat them with that. And then if they cuff you and take you downtown, and even if they don't cuff you and take you downtown, that's when you still get a lawyer, report that cop. Just reporting them ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta have to, now it's called file lawsuits. They need to get those lawsuits documented on the record, whether you win or lose. It'll at least chip away to the bull crap that they do and put us through. It's very dangerous out here, man. And it's not because of the citizens, it's because of the police. And that's a sad situation. That man just lost his life riding, going to wherever he's going to, and the police said that he ran a stop sign. We all heard him say, I didn't run no stop sign. Yeah, you did. Get out the car. What? Who? Why? Where is that in the rule book or training for police to make a person get out the car? He didn't even ask for the man license and registration. Let's go there. He immediately said, get out the car. Put your hand behind your back. And now the guy was confused, man. I ain't do nothing. What you mean? Put my hand behind my back. We got to teach our kids, don't be afraid to go to jail. Don't be afraid. Because we coming to get you. My little man, 15, he played football, basketball. You know, we keep him in stuff. That's a good thing. But I always instill in him every chance I get when I get to see my little man. Don't argue with police. But, you know, he's not the one that's always outside, man. I thank God for that. He ain't really pressed to be out there. But if he do go out with his friends, it could be that one time that he out with his friends. Finesse said, that's why I'm glad they got rid of that jaywalking. Facts. Remember, they was using that, yep, as an excuse to harass us in New York. Facts. Mark J said, the art of war is real, but it stands for the ability to use judgment by the way of thinking and applying smart tactics, which means don't argue with the cops and don't tussle with the cops. Just put your hand behind your back. That's one smart applying smart tactics. Mark J also said learning how to voice yourself without violence. A paper trail is our best way. Facts. It'll chip away at the bull crap that the police do. Because they're going to say, man, we got another lawsuit. Man, we got another lawsuit. And it'll start building up to the point where it forces the politicians to have to do something, which is sad that we have to force y'all to do something that, because it occurred several times, then y'all got to wait for a person to die and lose their life. Ron Books, salute. We got to wait for a person to lose their lives before our mayors, before our governors step in. So they get to ignore the fact that these police is doing corrupt things and they sticking together, but they out here giving people RICO charges now because they are all, together as a crew, calling themselves a crew. So now they'll figure out a way to say that crew was doing things together as one to accumulate some money, which will be a RICO law. I mean, yeah, which will consist of the RICO law. So now we can lock them up, and then they'll try and figure out a way to make that charge stick, while you have to pay for a lawyer, pay for bail if you get one, and or sit in jail and go through this bull crap motions while they go home every day, sit down and try to figure out a way to send you away for a long time, which they really have nothing, but we have no wins over that. So we got to prove ourselves innocent. And we are innocent until proven guilty, but that's not the truth. We are guilty until proven innocent. So we got to go through the motions, and they don't. And they get paid from our money to put us in jail, to hold us in jail, to help the police corroborate a story that is not real. These district attorneys, and don't want to let you go when they know that is wrong. They wait months and months when they know that a person and this charge that this officer put on a person is not real. You got to keep going back and forth to court. I guess they hope that you get into something else, but you're going back and forth to court, which is crazy. And now our hard-earned money, and or you got to spend your hard-earned money to get bailed out or pay for a lawyer or just sit in jail. And you might have a job that was paying your day-to-day living arrangements. Now you lose your house, you lose your job, and the police still working and doing what they do. And on to the next person. Ain't thinking about you until it's time to come to court. Then when they get in court, you looking at them sitting across from you and making up all these things that fit court criteria to actually say out of their mouth to make this case stick, that is fake and not real. Finesse said, always looking them in the eyes when they pull you over, but make sure your hands is visible. Facts. Make sure your hands is visible, man. When we was growing up, they pull us, we put our hands out the car immediately. You're not going to get me with that one. But we got to sit and fight this case, and then they wait months and months, and they know that there's no way to go to trial with this bullcrap case because they hope you cop out to it. You don't cop out to it, then they finally let it go. But if you cop out to it, now the case over with. The officer, he got him a free, send somebody to jail pass, and he back outside doing it again. So they put the battery in these officers' back to allow them to do that. And then they get a pat on the back for winning a certain amount of cases a year. Then when it's time to vote a DA in, they get pat on the back for fake arrests that they help put together, help the officer lie and playing with people's lives out here, man. And those are a lot of reasons why some people just give up on life. Some people just end up homeless. Like, they get back out of jail and lost their job. They don't know which way to turn. A lot of people don't have people that can help them and give them things for them to bounce back, man. That's dangerous. Finesse said, fact, hands on the car. But remember, they was hating when seeing brothers with shine on, yep, and a nice car too. That's why I think we stopped. Ron Book said, word, and you got to spend money for lawyers and things, yep, and bail, and you lose your job. So now you all messed up in a frenzy. Now you all in a frenzy for this cop that make 25,000 a year, go home to his kids, or he might just go home to himself. But he get to call a lady over and do whatever he do, or go to friends functions, family functions, while you in there fighting for your life, and he laughing and joking, drinking his beer, liquor, whatever, or drinking his Kool-Aid or water, and still having fun, and you sitting in jail like, what did I do? I didn't do nothing. And then when he got to put his uniform on, when he got to go back to work, and then the court date come up, he got to sit across from you and put the fake phony police face on and make up a story that sounds good to either the judge or juror, and you looking like that never even happened. And he's sitting there saying, in all my experience and training throughout the years, I can tell when a person know how to do magic or voodoo, and the judge go for it. I could tell when a person about to hit the lottery. All my years of training and experience. I'm just saying that to say how stupid that sounds. And that's eating that chew tobacco while you behind the wall. Yeah, and that too. Chewing on their tobacco. Figuring out the next person they're going to try to get. Or they'll settle down, their superior tell them, just chill for a minute. You got to go home. Now they sitting at home and getting paid. Now if they let them come back on the force, they're going to tell them, just chill for a minute, don't do nothing crazy, because you know you still under watch. But he still got a job. Still get to go back and do what he do, when they just ruined a human being's life by just sending them to a simple jail. Simple, an assault on a cop carries 5 years and better. That they'll sit there and lie, and it'll be on body cam that the man or the woman didn't even assault them. They assaulted first. And still get no backlash behind it. We in trouble out here, y'all, and we got to use our smarts, and we got to train our kids ASAP. Like, it's got to be a real training that you put in their head, because we can't watch our kids 24/7, especially when they get an age when they can walk to the bus by themselves, go to the store by themselves, and then they just, one day, God forbid, they pick one of our kids out to do their dirty, devious things that they had on their mind before they came to work and put their uniform on. In their mind, man, when I get to work today, when I go outside, I'm picking me somebody. I need some action. Or I need to make a quota. I'm tired of the boss getting on my neck. They need to pull that quota stuff out of the police to-do system or to-do list or whatever you want to call it. Because evidently ain't enough crime to go around. So if they making a quota, if nothing is going on and y'all got the city safe, then that y'all should get points for that alone. But if you don't get points for that and you get points for making a quota, what the police gonna do? Which they shouldn't. They should, talk to their union about, we couldn't make a quota because there's no crime going on. We doing our job right out there. So now y'all gonna force, their superiors gonna force their sheriffs or their officers to go out there and make this happen. That's why they clear it up and hold their own police down. And then, like I was saying earlier, Ron Book said taking the programs and after school centers away, I would say, is a big part. These kids going left. Facts. We don't have enough of those programs. We need a program where some of these lawyers that went to school, they do not have to teach everything they learned to school, at least teach the constitutional rights that these kids need to know. So when the police pull them over, they can break it down to them. Why y'all not supposed to be pulling me over? Why are you not supposed to be taking me out the car? Police don't like when you can speak with, real articulate with smarts. real elegant or elegant, however you want to say it. They don't like when you can speak that law to them. That's one thing. They act like you trying to be smart to them, which they are not supposed to do that. If they're telling you the law, then that's what you need to be listening to. But we need to teach our kids this because it'll at least that's a defense as well. Because it'll put in the officer's brain like, damn, you know what he talking about. I can't run this one on them. If I do take them in, they're gonna know what to say. Vito still said right. They don't like losing, so they'll convict somebody of killing and knowing that the real killer is out there. In their eyes, they want us to believe that they keeping the city safe because they found the real killer and they put him in jail. Then years later, after the person did 20, 30 years, now they can let him come home, let the real evidence come out, and the prosecutor who did that is probably retired and don't get no backlash from it, don't even get in trouble, nothing. That's crazy to me. So it's like, Rico 13, what up? So now my question earlier was, we know the Ku Klux Klan, they are inside the police station working. They get these jobs. Then you got people that just have the mindset of a Klansman, but not one. They just don't like black people. They gonna get these jobs. Now we have black people that do get these jobs, but they end up ass kissing. Appreciate that, Rico 13, vice versa. They start ass kissing. But you know, I think it's smart that we get those jobs. But if we get those jobs and we start doing right and telling the other officers y'all way out of line, they gonna get rid of us quick. They just did it to a lady cop that was checking another officer. And then they put her, you know, sent her home for a minute, and then they eventually terminated her job. That's crazy. And that's what'll happen if real black brothers start getting in these jobs and getting in these jobs and getting these jobs, these police jobs, and doing it for the right thing. Because police love to make people snitch, but they don't like snitches. They do not like snitches that's amongst them. That's backwards. They might be passing the law in Fayetteville on curfew for 18 and under. It's crazy in the murk right now. Civil war status. That's deep. A curfew? We have freedom of speech and we are free out here. Who are y'all to tell somebody when to be in the house if their parents allow it? Vito said, especially those sheriff divisions, they notorious for that out west in LA. Got their own secret gangs. That's a fact. Ron Bull said the ones getting brainwashed. Yeah, the police, they get inside of there and they end up getting brainwashed throughout that training. But you can't brainwash a real smart person that already know their mission is to come in and do right. I don't want to hear that stupid stuff. I'm gonna listen to the right stuff, but the stupid stuff gonna go over my head. But I'll play dumb like I'm listening. And we need to sneak our way into this police forces, to the police force, and take over, man. Yeah, upstate Vito, you gotta watch for them cops because they crooked. That's where I was at, Kingston, New York. They ran up in my house. I never even seen a search warrant at all. But thank God one of my little homies was like, you know, that's mine's. And they couldn't do nothing about it, but they kept it on file. They didn't dismiss it. They kept it on file. So when I got locked up facing the 60, I still had that over my head. But my lawyer had to file a motion and send it upstate to Kingston to the DA and say, if y'all not going to prosecute, I'm to ask you to dismiss this right now and send me the dismissal papers. Other than that, if you're going to prosecute, let me know so we could take further action. And he got it dismissed on record. Ex-Brutality, what's good? He said, it's nasty, Boots. I remember Unique saying that the cops was extorting him and making him pay a ransom in the 90s to stay on the streets. They would pull up to his house in droves. That's crazy. I don't understand how they were able to get away with that crap. Yeah, because in your mind, when you hustling, you're going to say either I'm going to pay him because they got the law to do whatever they want. Or what you gonna do? Go to war with them, or you just gonna leave the game alone? And that means you leave the game alone. You got to figure out other ways to get money. And nobody wasn't thinking about other ways to get money because we was acting like that money never gonna end. Expertality said, and those cops were locking away people acting like they innocent and not corrupt. Facts. Ron Bull said, I was in Ellenville, got knocked. They sent me to Kingston. Them popos wicked. Yeah, I seen them hang a person inside of the cell and put the fan on him and open the cold window up. Had him hanging up like both his arms on the bars, prison bars, one cuff to each side, and opened the window and put the fan on him and took his shirt off, man. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then the cops, they were so thirsty for me in Kingston, they figured out how we was jumping off the bus early, and they jumped out, flashlights, boop, jumped out on us and found stuff on my homeboy and tried to tell him to say it was mine because they was mad that we beat that case. And he was like, yeah, tell your mother to come up here now and say you don't be doing nothing. I said, I don't. You ain't find nothing on me. And took him in the other room. But my boys is thorough. My boy's name Darryl Isaac. They call him Score out of Harlem. Expertality said, damn, I heard about that holy crucifix ritual they used to do there. Right, I didn't know it was a ritual. That's crazy. But I witnessed it with my own eyes, man. They had all 7 of us locked up, had us in the newspaper, so it's in the archives. I can't make this stuff up. It's in public record. They had 7 of us locked up, and my game room, I had a store and a variety store too. I never told people to bring drugs, never let people have drugs in there. Ain't no breaking no drug deals in there, none of that. Come here, hang out, play the games, have fun. You could buy a nice gift basket because my mother used to make a lot of gift baskets and teddy bears and stuff, and I used to put them all around the store, and the people could come and buy gift baskets and stuff like that for their kids or their loved ones, whatever the gift is for. That's what it was. They had my store in there as the drugstore. I said I opened up a store for drugs. It was called the drugstore in the newspaper. Never busted nobody in there for drugs, nothing, ever. Said El Marabit, what's up? How you? But this corruption been going on all the way back then, all the way up to now. It doesn't matter about who is the president or nothing. Some people do have reflections of our president for their own reasons, but still, that don't make them, who told them that they have the right to do it? But they did get pardoned from Trump for running up in that Capitol. So I don't know the gist of that, but it is a crazy situation. It's a sad situation that these people think that they can do what they want to do, and now these cops, it leaks over to them that thinking they can do what they want to do because these video cameras of the past cops that's on video camera and actually see these cops shoot and kill people. The DAs sometimes says we think that that cop did right, so we're not pressing charges against him. So that put the battery in the backs of other officers to do this. We are in a very dangerous society when it comes to this police stuff, man. So we got to tighten up, and like we were all talking about earlier, we got to use our smarts to beat these police. We can't try to use our brawns. First thing a person think when the police pull them out the cars, like we just seen, and you know this guy unfortunately lost his life. First thing they think is I ain't got nothing on me, so y'all don't got the right to be putting your hands on me. So yeah, I could tussle back with y'all, but no, they clean it up, and they make it look like you was the bad guy. Regardless, until your people keep fighting and fighting and fighting and pushing and poking the bear. When you know, and the powers that be hope you give up, but you keep poking the bear, they're gonna have to give in because now we gotta go to a higher court, Supreme Courts with it, or wherever else we have to go at with this situation, and that's the only way we get results done. And these videos like Indisputable with Dr. Richie, and there's other few channels. You got Roland Martin's. I like Roland Martin channel. They fight against this stuff. And we all we got with this, and we all we got with these YouTube channels, man, to keep this awareness going. And it's knowledgeable people like y'all that come up here and comment on this stuff and be giving me great knowledge and say great articulate responses, or how I want to say it, statements. Y'all give a lot of great respectful y'all probably not gonna hear me somebody just busted through again, man. But yeah, it's your boy Big Boosie. I'm signing out. I got things to do. Gotta go open up the Flavor Slushy truck, man. Y'all can hear me, but I appreciate all y'all. Finesse Analyzer, Mark J, man. Oh man, all of y'all, man, that come up here. Bugs. If I'm forgetting somebody, forgive me, man. Y'all know y'all all my people. And yeah, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that like button for me. Hit the like buttons, man. Let's get these likes up so YouTube understand this is not a game. And hit the notification so y'all know when I'm up here, man. We got more to talk about. I'm gonna bring y'all some more reactions, either from Dr. Richie Indisputable or from there's a few other channels, so I'll bring in some, but Roland Martin is another one of my favorites. Y'all make sure y'all go and check these channels out, because we got to stay abreast and aware of what's going on with these police, so we'll know how to move when we outside, and we'll know how to teach our kids, our nieces, our nephews, and even some of our older brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles that not understanding or don't care because they go to work every day. They ain't thinking about the outside. They'll grab anybody, and they don't know how to actually exercise their brain, how to beat these police, because they go to work every day and they're gonna say, "Don't touch on me. I ain't do nothing," to start doing all the, and that's what the police want. And then they'll call it a resisting arrest and, you know, obstructing of justice, making up all this fake stuff to take a person now that just got off work or is on their way to work or just going to see a loved one, man. These videos are very important and they need to be shared, shared. For real. It's for the sake of all of us, man. So yeah, that's a fact. So he said, X Mentality said that's a fact. Roland and Hassan Campbell too. Now Hassan said a lot of crazy mess, bro. I can't agree with you with that one. But at one point in time, what made me started following him, because he was saying a lot of smart stuff now, and a lot of stuff that is on point for us to be on point out here. But he disrespect people's families, loved ones, kids when they die, and act like he try to make a real point out of it. That's never good. So his bad outweigh his good. But then he'll come back and do say some good things amongst his new movement, what he got, you know, or what he talks about now. So I could say that too. Epic Era said the grassroots don't rock with Roland, because Roland speak his mind. He even cursed and everything. Finesse Analyzer said, nah, not Hassan. That TV off-ish, we can't vibe with. Facts. Talking about somebody TV get turned off and all that stuff. Like it's supposed to be funny, or like we supposed to respect that. That's not cool. It ain't cool, and it's dangerous for himself and for his family. He got kids, man. You say the wrong thing about one person and trigger them, that might make them lay on YouTube, but they don't care how many days and how many months it take to narrow it down. That's a dangerous thing. And he say people be putting his address up online and things of that nature. That's dangerous just for some money. I don't need no YouTube money if I got to talk about somebody and talk about them recklessly, and then I want to go hang outside. But people could say they outside after talking recklessly. They ain't outside. I ain't seen them nowhere. I ain't heard nobody say, "Oh, yo, guess who was up in the spot last night?" They won't. I never heard them say Hassan Campbell was in nowhere. Period. And I could tell when he do show he outside, he's strategically moving around people that he is cool with and show the people that's outside. And they be happy to see him come through because he is a popular face on YouTube now. But he ain't in certain places outside. So that's just trickery. And why you gotta trick people to make them think you outside is that mean you ain't doing something right, brother. But if it worked for you, hey, that's on you. Ro Williams said, yeah, we got a lot to talk about, bro. Stay safe, you too. Vito still said, facts. I seen him get dressed up to sit on the couch. That's what I've been seeing, but not for the night scene. He got a lot of people upset with him. That's a fact. It's impossible that he could be outside, because if that's the case, then he got to be out there with that toast. And if you got to be out there with that, that's like, I don't want to go outside with no guns unless I need it. If I got mine, somebody better know something about to happen. For real. Other than that, I don't want to have a gun. I like seeing people and smiling. What's up? Yeah, how y'all doing? Oh, word? Yo, I seen your podcast. I appreciate you. What's your name? Tell me their name. I tell them my name. They be like, yeah, I know. But I still want to be cordial to people. That's the life I like. I want to be outside. So if my numbers grow slowly, that's cool. It's going to grow slowly, but it's millions of people everywhere. So if I get 1 million people, if I get one in one state, another in another state, 2 in 2 cities, 2 in other cities and other states, 2 in Africa, 2, 3 in London, and it start building up to 1 million people across the world, then I'm cool with that. I don't need the negative people all up in probably 1 state, 2 states, maybe 10 states that'll accumulate to 100,000 to 1 million people because I talk negative, because that's dangerous. I don't want no money that fast. No money is worth that. I got kids. I got loved ones that's out here. That's more important to me. And just being cool with people is more important to me. You get a lot of things that way. If these guys' YouTube channels go off the day, they effed up. I ain't never heard none of them talk about their businesses they own. Period. Vito said, you ain't got to look over your back like Haas. I remember when he visited 10 Toes Down. 10 said Haas circled around the parking lot 10 times out of fear. And, you know, it's funny, but it ain't funny. That's sad that a person got to live like that. You got to live like that and you get money. You can't even enjoy it. That's not good. I'm never going to do that. It's not worth living like that, man. But I never hear these guys outside doing nothing. Y'all could go on my shorts and see I'm outside. I go feed the homeless every chance I get, give away chips, cookies, dinners, whatever I can do. That's what I like doing. And that's what I want to build 1 million people off of, doing stuff like that. So if, you know, any good things come around, they'll think of me first and call me and give me that opportunity. But I never hear nothing about none of their businesses that they're doing, selling properties. They can give advice about land and selling land, but I ain't hearing none of them doing it. Vito still say, who want to have that money to sit on the couch? Facts. I'm getting money. I'm going out. I'm going to go enjoy it. I'm going to dress nice because I want to dress nice, and I worked hard for it. I'm not out there stunting on nobody. I'm just dressing nice because I earned it. If a person go to work every day and their bills is paid and they got some extra money to go buy some clothes and go outside and look nice, I congratulate them. Yo, homie, that jacket is hard, man. Yo, them sneakers is nice. And I ain't got to say no homo because they know what I'm talking about. I don't got to use those words. But yeah, I'm a compliment a brother. Yo, that car fly, man. Yo, dang, that inspired me to go get one. Now I'm getting back to go work hard, get in front of this computer, go outside, open my truck up, sell food, put these movies out on Tubi, work on this soundtrack. or finish my Carolina lady clothing line I'm about to push back out. Yeah, I do these things. So they can have that YouTube money when you want to talk negative about somebody that will come bust you across your head. Because I don't care if you're the biggest in the cock diesel, and you might be nice with your hands. There's always somebody nicer with the hands than you. Not only that, a guy might not be nice with the hands. He might just be a brawler and know how to catch you. He catch you slipping first, you going to sleep. I ain't got time for none of that. If somebody knocked me out, I mean, they did that on their own, and I wasn't paying it no attention, man. God forbid. You right, wrong, Boogs. And they ain't understanding, man. Until it happened to them. And it's dangerous. You know, Hassan ain't the only one that do it. There's a few other cats out here that do it. And when I brought something to his attention one time, he came up here on the live. Was like, man, I wasn't saying it like that. I'm saying it like this. And then, you know, he tried to snap and joke on me. Yo, who this nigga, who this dude, this, that. But I don't never see him come around too much no more. When I say little things, you know, to him, not to disrespect him, just be pulling his coat. I don't see him do none of that no more because I'm sure he probably did his research and found out who I am. I've been outside from a young pup, man. And doing things, making noise. And yeah, we used to be out there having fun, but we never was no troublemakers. But if it was time to get busy, we got busy. That's a fact. You ain't coming to my block, 146 St. Nicholas, and playing none of them games. Period. We didn't care who you was. And was highly respected by the killers and the ones that will kill if they had to, that was getting money. We all had a respect for one another. That's what it was all about. Now, just people that did disrespect did lose their lives, and those was learning lessons. Mentality said, yeah, I remember that parking lot incident. They said he was looking under the cars all packed. Yeah, that's crazy. The real don't mix with the fake. Ron Books, that's a fact. I can't have a fake dude around me. I don't like it. It is what it is. Like, bro, I don't even want that energy around, because if that energy is around, then God ain't gonna bless me. So keep the fakeness over there. I ain't got time for it. I need positive energy as much as possible. I'm in elevation mode. I'm trying to build something powerful. I literally got $1 million+ invested in the build up from me rapping back in the day, spending money, learning the rap game, booking artists so I could perform and make money at the door at the same time. I did all that. X Mentality said, I don't blame him. Last time he visited his PJs, he got caught one in the shoulder. He even hated back home for his internet antics. That's a fact. Those are the things it should be called the should not be doing type of things. But that never stopped him. He's still out doing his antics. So he don't care. The money is more powerful, and that's crazy to him. These people didn't deserve to hear him screaming at the top of his lungs at 6 a.m. in the morning. He put deal with the Bambaataa, not your PJs. That's a fact. Yeah. And he said he ain't want to deal with Bambaataa because something. He said he still kind of respect Bambaataa. That's crazy. If a person ever even thought about that they was going to try to play with my manhood, it will be a mega problem behind that. We ain't never having that. Ever. No more respect for him. And if a man ever was just say, for instance, knock you out, take your manhood, man, ain't no, you not living around here no more. I'm sorry. You violate, took my man, knocked me out, took my manhood, and you will be around? No, I'm not. I'm sorry, bro. That's what I'm going to jail for, man. I just have to be in there, and I would have to tell the judge. he did it, you know, did what he did to me. But they're gonna say you took matters in your own hand. So if you are smart, you got to do things the correct way. I'm not saying go out there and murder nobody or kill. I'm just saying if it's in your mental, you just a bunch of cameras. Just make sure you do what you do the correct way. But there's certain things that a man don't do to another man. You don't play with a manhood. I'm sorry. So for him to do that and still be out here doing his antics after being shot, that's crazy to me, man. That shows you the power of a dollar. I don't never want no money that bad. I would disrespect somebody and they just lost their kid, or talk about somebody that lost a loved one, that lost their life, and then try to come up and switch the narrative of it to fit his description of why people should look at it the other way and not feel sorry for a person. That's crazy to me, man. That will send a person fumes high. Detroit said, facts. He said he had respect for him, which is shocking, right? I think he said it's because he dropped him off home afterwards. Right, that's a sick mentality, Detroit said. Yo, that's deep, bro. So, yeah, that money is not worth it on YouTube. So a lot of these cats got to show us something else y'all do. Because if YouTube gets shut down, do y'all have a mentality to actually know how to run a business? Until somebody show me different, I just look at these cats like, man, why do I need to listen to a person like you on YouTube? Now, you might say some stuff that'll enlighten me, and I'll take it for what it's worth, and I might can apply it to something. But what are you doing with this information that you talking? You just trying to make yourself look good out there. And this is not to just Hassan. This is to anybody that's on this internet that's just be talking. Because outside this internet, when you see them, they ain't, you just an internet dude, man. But we've been outside popular before this internet. That's why I said Haas ain't never came back no more and said nothing, because I'm sure he did his research of who I am and what I stand for. And I always tell people, don't let the baby face fool you, brother. Don't let the slimness fool you, brother. Been like this all my life, highly respected by the most diesel, cock diesel, and all of the above. Period. And it ain't because I could beat everybody up. I'm a tough guy. No. You just be cool with everybody. If somebody bother you, win or lose, then you handle your business. I'm going to take a loss before I take disrespect. That's never going to happen, man. So, yeah, your boy Big Boosie, I'm signing out, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, share, hit that like button, man. And I appreciate all my knowledgeable people up there, man. Facts. Salute.